time, we've started Trials and Tribulations. Well, we're starting Trials and Tribulations today after finishing Justice for All last week. Very excited to start this game. I have a plan, like a good stream plan, because this is streamed every Thursday and Saturday, right? So twice a week. I have a decent plan to get through this game in 3 weeks. So long as I stick to this plan and I stick to my progress goals each stream, I can finish this game in about 3 weeks. In 3 weeks. So, because basically I was informed of the kind of the structure of how the cases will go in this game. With the experience of how the first game and the second game went, I was able to draft out, okay, if I start from here and get to at least this point in the game, I can stop streaming then, and then start again on Saturday from this point up until this point. And basically it should take me 3 weeks. So by Saturday, the March 13th, this game should be finished. That's my deadline. My goal for this stream since I've written it down, is that I should be able to finish this case, this episode, and get halfway through the next one before I end the stream. That is my goal. So, let's begin. I also forgot to mention that girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake, if you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that. Whack. Oh no, not Phoenix. I didn't do it. No. Sick. So what I was gonna say is that also at the end of the stream, so here's the plan. If I don't get to the point I need to stop before 10 p.m., so that's in about 2.5 hours. What's happening is that there's a PlayStation State of Play presentation happening. So I will be cutting away, if I don't finish, my quota before then, I will be cutting away to watch that and stream that, co-stream that as well. And then I'll cut back and finish off the rest of my quota for today and then end the stream. That's the plan for today. Oh, look, it's Grossberg. Ah, Mia, please calm yourself down. You're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, What are you talking about? I am relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me, I'm relaxed. So I'm playing as Mia. Actually, let me check if this is working. Yeah. I'm playing as Mia, and it seems like she was just like a young Phoenix right when she was like starting up. You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer. I'm so sorry, it's just that I'm not so nervous today. Oh, that's right, this is your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never you fear, my dear. I'm Marvin Grossberg. I'm at your service. Actually, this is my second time in court. Still, you surprised me. What with your earnest request last night? Let me handle this case, you suddenly said. And quite forcefully, too. I just found out yesterday about the case, What? And you've already learned all the relevant facts? Well, about that, you see, of course I have, I think. Oh dear. In any case, don't let our client see you're so nervous. You see the poor young man in the pink sweater over there? That's our client. Man, Phoenix was all about keeping COVID safe way back when. Good morning there, everybody. Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia. I just want to say I'll give it all I've got. Yep, it'll be fine, no problem. Oh, this is weird. Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something, Mr. Wright? Actually, it's Wright. Like the flying brothers. People screw it up all the time. And yes, I have a cold. That's what this mask is for. Very considerate, Mr. Wright. My doc says this way, I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says. Right, Mr. Wright. You have nothing to favor in court today. If you are truly innocent, I promise I will save you. Please let go of my shirt. Oh, that's right. He's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that trial traumatized me so badly I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. It's been 1 year since then, and well, here I am again. But this time I'm going to win. For my client and for myself. Sick. So from what I understand... Oh wait, never mind. So the court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright. Hey, look at our girl Mia. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Oh, Pain, look at that stupid haircut. Miss Faye, yeah? Is there a problem? I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg would be leading the defense. This is literally like a play-for-play with the first case of the first game. I was under the impression that Mia Fey would be leading the defense. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency. Emergency? But isn't that him standing there right next to you? Yes, well, you're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this? Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. She even does the table slam. Of course, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement? Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. You have never won a case. As far as I'm concerned. A fatal electric shock. Dog swallow. Fourth year student studying pharmacology. Very bright young man. Yes, well, we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body and the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway. They then called the police. That certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well. The court accepts this photo into evidence. By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo. Your reputation for sagacity, I don't know that many words, so I'm going to Google that word right now. What does sagacity mean? The quality of being sagacious. Sick. So what does sagacious mean? Having or showing keen mental discernment and good judgment, wise or shrewd. Oh, Pain is being rather sassy at the moment. I will be 2 seconds. I need to get my first can of Diet Coke. Right. The truth is that the victim died a rather unusual death. What do you mean, Mr. Payne? Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question, huh? A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. I'm a gentleman, if you will. I'm a what? Stand up to him, Mia. Show him what you're made of. A perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause? Go on. Please say you know at least this much. I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file. My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. Oh, geez. Now see here. Okay, so this is just tutorial. details of stuff in the court record. Great. It was electrocution. We already had a look at that. According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution. How could such a thing happen? Did the murderer use some type of new super powerful stun gun, perhaps? The answer to that will become crystal clear as this trial proceeds, Your Honor. But before that, there was one more vital issue. What's that? Why, motive, of course. Apparently, there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant. Bad blood? What do you mean? Oopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this. So this is 3 years prior to Phoenix Wright becoming an attorney. Phoenix Wright's girlfriend, Dahlia Hawthorne. Right. I really don't like this guy's smug attitude. Yeah, that's Winston Payne for you. He's one smooth operator, if you can catch my drift. They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know. Now then, let's hear from the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? And this time, I would like to see some supporting evidence. Evidence? No need to get worked up over this. As I said, all our weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need and then shove it into old Greybeard's face. Sick. Actually, let's start a new slate. There we go. Okay. Try not to... Yeah. The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here. Dahlia Hawthorne, is it? Very good, Miss Faye. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. But up until about 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly, she has some part to play in this story. He's done it again. Before the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking what he wants. Very well, Mr. Payne. Please call your first witness. If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant himself? Well, Miss Faye, it's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection. Very well. Okay. Witness, please state your name and occupation. I'm Phoenix Wright. My job is, right now I guess I'm a suspect. He means, what did you do before you were arrested? Oh, I was a university student. Mr. Wright, you understand that you are suspected in the death of your fellow student, Doug Swallow, but I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. 10 of you, I was, achoo. Oh, he's fully got COVID. Would the defendant please refrain from passing on COVID to the rest of us? It seems the witness has something he wants to say. Well then, Mr. Wright, please tell us about your relation to the victim. Right away, Your Honor. Ooh, new music. Let's try it. B minor. A minor now. Okay, that's actually a pretty simple song. So it goes from B minor to A minor. I like that too. I like this tune. I like this way better than the one before. Cool. But I'm not the killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. British? Okay, weird. So you hardly knew the victim. Like I said, I'm not a killer. Ooh, looks like the judge understands. Ugh, you're being naive, you know. Too naive. Huh? Ah, man. It seems that you have forgotten one small thing, my lady. And that would be... this witness still has to undergo something called a cross-examination. A cross-examination? He's right, and it's the duty to carry out the cross-examination. The purpose is to determine if a witness's testimony contains any contradictions. We know this stuff, so... he probably was lying. So the one that's the line that stuck out to me was him being British. Mr. Wright, you stated in the following in your testimony, I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right. I mean, why would I even... But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Well, Mr. Wright, it wasn't me. I'm not a killer, I swear. Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe? Well, he was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. I mean, was he? I don't see a Union Jack. No, that's his back. I don't see a Union Jack unless that's a jacket. I don't see one. Objection! You liar. Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there in his back. Miss Faye, is there some point to this line of questioning? Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute. He's wearing a leather jacket. The Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? You would have no idea what he was wearing underneath that jacket. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me. Oh, bless, he's baby. He's baby. Mia, you've made our client cry. Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyway. I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was all wrong. That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear that this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime. Uh-oh, did I go too far? By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it? Yeah, I took some, but was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X? Yeah, that's right, it kills colds good. Hey, wait a second. How did you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X? Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now? Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. You lost it? Does this even have anything to do with the case? Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now? Your Honor, I'd like you to take another look at the take a look at another photo from the crime scene. What's this? In the victim's hand, it's Cold Killer X. Objection! Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to, especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it. And not Doug's? Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine dropped by Mr. Wright and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify his killer as Phoenix Wright. Oh please, this is such a reach. Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence. Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken. Broken? Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for this? Death at 3 p.m. Now, if I'm being honest, I'm not good at reading analog time. How do I do this? Okay. Transform. I want to flip vertical. So that's not even 12. Okay, let's do that again. I want to rotate it. That's the one I want to do, not flip it. Rotate. That's the one. Okay. So if that's 12. Okay, that is near enough 3 o'clock. But it's just after. Okay, well, fair enough. Nothing to find out there. Oh, let me lock this again. Lock it in place. This is really bad. Oh, my buttocks. My poor... Please, stop talking about your hemorrhoids. Right, the truth is, I went because he called me. It was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3 o'clock we split up. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I'd been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 to 3 days, but I lost my bottle of it around the lunchtime on the day of the incident. Huh. Okay. It's right. That's completely different from the testimony you gave previously. A hack. I'm sorry. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth. You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible. Mr. Fate, please begin your cross. Ugh. Okay. Let me give a quick save. So if he's waiting because he called me, he was in the apartment, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 when at the building. Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45? Yeah, and we were both there right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU. An alchemist, I see. I have to admit, it was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. Oh, fascinating. It sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man. What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for more details. About the department itself? I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though. A little bit earlier, you said something interesting in your testimony. You said it uses strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. That's right, and they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages too, so there are high voltage cables everywhere. High voltage cables? Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high voltage cables run overhead and around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. We talked about it for a bit, and at 3 we split up. So what was it you were talking about? You know, that we should hang out again sometime? Wish that were true. I found him lying there. Been taking Cold Killer X for the last 3 days, but I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly. Dolly? Weird. Just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious. Why did you punch me in the jaw? Oh, I'm sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden. I don't get it. What? That made no sense. I think that's enough for now. Oh, what already? So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. Then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason. I'm not entirely convinced about I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either. Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted. What do you mean? I knew it was too much work for a little girl. However, there is still one mystery that still remains. There is, Your Honor? How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct? Well, that is, You are correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I can somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. Your Honor? Yes, Miss Faye? I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died. That would be most impressive. Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to yada. Yes, evidence, yada yada. Sick. Show me how you believe the victim was executed. Well, I thought that was obvious. The wire, literally right above him. As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well. Oh, she's got all the same mannerisms as Phoenix. It's really cool. But there is nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. It's right fucking here. You damn nuts. Well, naturally, it's right here. What is that? A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we've heard. The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage, and because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere. So then the high voltage cable, yes, it is the cause of death that is the most likely explanation. That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, I believe some praise is in order. Don't toy with me, old man. Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was the defendant. That's a load of shit, but... Oh, no! Ah, no! My battery died! Oh, no! God damn it. Well, there's going to be a brief 5-minute recess. Court will reconvene in 5 minutes while I charge my Joy-Cons in the Switch. Cool. Right back into things. I think it's charged enough. That much is certainly true. We have proof, irrefutable proof that Phoenix Wright did the murders. His fingerprints. You mean the fingerprints that were on the bottle? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket, and as you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. You mean, yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket, the palm print of the defendant's very own hand. I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victims towards the severed electrical cable. Well, that's no good. That's no good for us. What did you miss? Not too much. Remember Phoenix Wright? He is the defendant in this case. Because he is suspected of murdering a young dog swallow. Also, this is his girlfriend, but we haven't met her yet. Like, with this, we've just started. Nothing's happened. Nothing's happened, really. And we're playing as Mia. Young Mia. I believe this takes place 3 years before the first game did. Stick a fork in us. We're done. Mr. Ghostberg, my hemorrhoids never lie. The show's over for Mia. I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him. No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent. No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt. Your Honor! At this time, I'm prepared to render a verdict in this case. Do you have something further to add, Miss Faye? Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth, the whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. I just can't say it, I can't. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me. Miss Faye, no matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you, and I'll represent you to the very end. We've already established the defendant's guilt. Yes, but is it beyond a reasonable doubt? There's no further need for him to say anything. Wait a minute. I'll tell you what really happened. But I've already told you, Mr. Wright, there's no need for further. I did it. I admit it, I pushed him. It's my fault. What? That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore? Yeah, we saw this scene earlier. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. You're lying. Just listen to me. There is something you need to know about that girl. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that! Okay. Was what you just said the truth? Yes, I was afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure. Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are. Please, give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Oh, thanks. I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim. I feel like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake. Oh my gosh. Okay. That guy, he was talking shit about Dolly. I pushed him. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just lying there dead. Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that. A simple explanation indeed. At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted. But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, you and I would have noticed it. That's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that. Miss Faye, let me warn you right now that if your cross doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear in that? All right. Let me save the game. Dolly gave him a heard some kind of loud noise. What noise did you hear? That's my question. A loud noise? What would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like snap. You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was. Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted. You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. Ask for more details, never hurt. That loud noise you heard may be extremely important, Mr. Wright, so try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Ah, could it have been... Yes, could it have been... Hurry up and tell us. When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. He fell right on top of it and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard. An umbrella, huh? And did that umbrella belong to the victim? Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella, cheap and frail, kind of like the owner. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone. Miss Faye, what do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now? I think so. This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, the cheap umbrella is more than important. It's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony. Perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer. The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please to add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony. So after he fell down on top of his umbrella, except he did or didn't. I mean, the umbrella is kind of broken. So Mr. Swallow fell on top of his umbrella. Are you certain of this? Yeah, it was right there under him. Actually, if I hadn't been under him, I was planning on... Oh, if it hadn't been under him, I was planning on borrowing it for myself. The umbrella, you mean? Well, yeah, you see, I was wearing the sweater here. Dolly stayed up late for nights at a time knitting it for me. I didn't want the rain to dampen the handmade symbol of our love. Oh, my stomach is not to be used as your personal soccer ball, Mia. Ah, I'm sorry. Why is he hitting him? She hitting him? All right, let me check this.
Objection!
Oh, looks like we got it. Look, why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on, if I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier. What do you mean by that? Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole. You're absolutely right. The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. Ooh, let's get it. The victim, he moved? Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now? Well, it was collected by the police at the scene of the crime scene. I want it presented as evidence immediately. But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind. This must be the cornered music. According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind. I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment. Well then. I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony. Well done, Mia. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about? Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone. I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying. Oh, excuse me. Let me guess, you have another witness. Exactly, and this witness, his testimony will be incontrovertible. Well, who is it this time? Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean Dolly? I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right, she was at the scene of the crime where the murder took place. Okay. I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear. Ooh. Oh, look at you. Bad news, you couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. You can't be serious. Mia, what do you mean by that? I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. It's all right. At least you told us the truth in the end. What did you miss again? Man. Nat. So, let me quickly go over this again. So, Matt Phoenix Wright, our favorite lawyer. This whole thing takes place 3 years before, or 3 years before the first game, or 4 years before the game we just finished. Phoenix Wright is the defendant. He was a third-year art student at university. He is the defendant in this case because he's suspected of killing Doug Swallow in a matter where he was actually electrocuted. But people think he did it because there are fingerprints on his jacket, which means that Phoenix Wright pushed him. But the prosecution argues that Phoenix Wright pushed him into the electrical cable. The defense argues that when Phoenix Wright pushed him to the ground, Doug Swallow was still alive and he moved. Because Phoenix Wright said that he pushed him on top of his umbrella. And the umbrella is indeed snapped in the photo. So the lawyer was accused, yes. Of course, he's not a lawyer now. This is all that takes place in the past. And yeah, so now the prosecution is bringing Phoenix Wright's girlfriend onto the witness stand because she was present at the time of the murder, apparently. So we've taken a 20-minute recess. Anyway, it's all right. You told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah, so I guess I can start to relax now. Relax, my boy. You can't be serious after hiding such important facts. But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me. I just know she will. He has a girlfriend. Not any... He did, because we haven't heard anything about him having a girlfriend. But he did at this point. This girl here. Huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life. The love of your life, huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Sure, no problem. Dolly and I, we first met about 8 months ago right here in this very courthouse. Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on the side. Anyway, one day, she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set my eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. She looks like Kate. Does she actually? I don't see it. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave me this she gave this to me the day we met as a symbol of our love. The day you met. As a symbol of your love. I don't think so. No, I don't see it. She'd been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off. But before she gave it to me, she said, I want you to carry this. But she gave it to you as a present, I see. This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little Dolly. It certainly is a little bottle there, right? Bear with me, the doorbell is ringing, and I don't know who's at the house at this time of night. Give me a sec. Turns out I didn't need to go downstairs because literally all my housemates are in the living room watching the film, and literally no one invited me. Like, I did not know. Like, sure, I'm streaming at the moment, so I can't join them, but I would have loved the invite since literally all of them know I'm in the house. Well. Let's see. It makes me so happy. I show it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the whole world. It's a small bottle necklace given to Wright on the day they met. He shows it to everyone. Everyone! Right. Oh no, my phone's gonna die again. My Joy-Con's gonna die again. Anyway, so after that, you and Hawthorne started dating? Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. Oh, Phoenix. Oh, Phoenix. Oh. You really were an idiot. What a strange girl, asking for a present back like that. By the way, Mr. Wright, the first day you met Dahlia Hawthorne 8 months ago, it wouldn't happen to have been on August 27th, would it? Huh? Yeah, it was, but how did you... This happened on August 27th, right here in this courthouse. What's this? A newspaper clipping. Let's see. Murder in the courthouse. Murder? What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took a keen interest in this case. You believe there is some connection between these two cases, am I correct? I hope you might not mind, Mr. Grossberg. I need to finish this myself. Ah, yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, my dear. What is this? Murder in the courthouse. Very little information is being disclosed at this time, since the victim of yesterday's incident in the district courthouse cafeteria is said to have been a lawyer. However, police are questioning the 19-year-old female college student who was sitting with the victim. Dahlia is not a good person. Probably. I'll go and have a look in the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find. I want to do whatever I can to be of help with you, Mia. Well, it looks like recess is about over. We better get moving. I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. Seemed less than that, to be fair, but oh well.